Times Square is their analogy. So you think of like Times Square, there's like a million signs blasting at you. People are like bumping into you. Like, it's like you get your thing done, you know, but you're like constantly bombarded. You're flat frazzled. Yeah. Whereas they want this to be like sitting in a calm cabin at the side of a nice lake. They want this to be a breath of fresh air compared to what smartphones have been.
Start it up. Let's get it rolling. Big ideas, money folding. Hustle smart, dream so wild. Turn that grind into a joyride.
All right.
What are we doing here today?
Hey, yeah, we are talking about, have you heard about this, Dave?
No.
OpenAI, a little while back in, I think it was May 2025, bought Johnny Ive's IO company, which is
basically just for Johnny.
Yeah,
for what I understand,
just for Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny's worth $6.5 billion.
Probably actually. Yeah, I actually think that's actually a definite yes. But keep going.
So their plan is to build an AI device. So there's actually been a few attempts at this,
but that's okay. yeah.
So there's one called so I looked up like other ones that have tried.
There's
to do
two
this.
that I know of.
Have you heard of Humane?
Yeah,
the AI
pin.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, so it was $699. It's $24 a month for a subscription. They only sold about 10,000 units. They were valued at over $1 billion. They ended up being bought by HP for $116 million. Apparently,
oh my God!
Apparently,
a tenth of the value.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Brutal, right? Yeah. Think of all the money that was pumped into that.
Oh
too,
man!
Right. So
that's the world of venture capital, though.
Yeah.
You know, you'll have 9 failures, but you only need one to go the distance for you to be wealthy as get out. So anyway.
Yeah. So they obviously ran into some technical limitations, and apparently the culture in Humane was just like this tire pumping beyond belief. Okay. Like everybody was super positive all the time. Apparently when they were demoing the device, they had to cool it with ice to keep it from overheating.
Right.
Stuff like that.
I think I heard about this because so if I understand the device correctly, I think it's on your chest and it displays a screen sort of like on your hand.
Yeah.
And then you can like use it, but it's like a laser or something. And it got
super hot,
psycho hot.
Yeah.
So they had to put it in an ice bucket. I like the idea that they're like bringing like a pitcher or like a bunch of beers like on their their like Thursday drink night. They also have a separate pitcher just cooling all the devices.
Yeah. So they couldn't even demo this. Like they were doing their demos and they're like trying to keep it going through and get through the demo.
Imagine the battery life must have been killed if you're using a laser or like anything.
Yeah.
Like a laser is like a concentrated light, right? I'm not smart on these sorts of things, but I can imagine that's going to eat a battery. That's going to eat a couple of AA's pretty fast.
All right. So I want to put out there because we have experience with some of this like
lasers.
Edge. No, not lasers, but very like edge technology, wearable type stuff. Do you remember when you and I back in 2013 we made App Armor run on Google Glass?
Yeah, I wanted to say, first off, thank you. I had nothing to do with coding that. So really, you made it work.
Right,
right. Yeah, we had a whole scenario where you would wear it and it was supposed to be for the police officers on campus or on campuses, and they would get like real-time information through the HUD, the heads-up display in the glass that would be like, I think we actually had a scenario where like there was a perpetrator on campus and we actually made it Justin Bieber because we were kind of playing up that we were Canadian in the demo and stuff like that. And anyway,
we actually had that working. It was amazing. Like,
kind of weird that went away. Remember, actually, fun side, tangential thing. Do you remember we went to a conference and there was so at conferences, there are these people who go around and they just pick up all the free stuff.
Oh, the swag people.
The swag people. And usually what they do is they start by going to the bag booth. Somebody who's giving away bags. And then they go to every other booth and just put stuff in the bags. And I don't know what they do with it. It's like some sort of weird arbitrage or something. But the lady came up to us and was like, "Are you giving away those glasses?" And they're like $2,000. I'm like, no.
Well, no, actually, we had to win a lottery to be able to buy them, and then it was like $2,500.
It is kind of a shame it went nowhere because the Google killed the product. But anyway,
well, I think culture kind of killed the product. You know that I didn't even know this, but apparently they were dubbed glass holes. People that wore them.
Well, hang on, I didn't know that. But also, I feel like the tech is here now though with the Meta Ray-Bans, right?
Yeah.
I think the thing is you just can't look like you're wearing RoboCop glasses. You have to look or like, RoboCop visor. you have to look like you're wearing something you'd always wear. Like your glasses right now aren't that far off of what the Meta Ray-Bans actually look like.
Yeah.
They're just like thicker. Right. It's kind of a cool idea. I
still think they look very heavy.
They do look heavy. Yeah. Like literally heavy on your face.
Yeah. I don't think I'm wearing them anytime soon. I think part of it too is I'm a little bit turned off because of our experience with Google Glass. Because like the one thing that I've had in our tech career is being disappointed when Google puts a ton of effort behind some emerging piece of tech and we buy in, we develop on it, we spend a lot of time, and then they just kill it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and there's no path. It's just dead.
I think you get right into that situation when you have like a concentration risk where there's only one company that's trying to do something new.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas if you have like an ecosystem, actually, this is timely for what we're talking about, obviously. But when you have an ecosystem where there's a bunch of competitors trying to introduce, like, let's say Apple was also doing it. Yeah. Let's say Meta was also doing it. I guess it would have been Facebook back then, but you know what I mean? If they're all like trying,
right? I
think that would have been very different than just like one company, just Google, just trying to go out and do this.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's like a concentration risk part of it, but I remember that too. It was very disappointing. They turned it off.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the end of that. Like, you know, we can't supply it to the customers. Customers can't purchase it, so we're done.
Yours truly put many nights and weekends into getting that Google Glass integration working. Yeah. And it was really cool. But then they just killed it and there was no path. There was nowhere to go from there. It was just throwaway code.
Yep.
So that sucks. So
you're not bitter though, right?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Cool.
Okay,
so
let's bring it back to OpenAI and what they're doing. So all of a sudden we're now back to the same kind of question about this like wearable type of AI device. Can this time be different?
Unclear. So let me just start with what else I think I know about this that I think is important.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like a smartphone killer.
Right.
And excuse me, if you're trying to replace, so here's the problem I have with that. Smartphones are good.
Are they?
Yeah. They're addictive. Okay, which is one thing that I think social media is particularly addictive.
Yeah.
Smartphones have annoying qualities.
Right.
They send you unending notifications. Okay, they bug you constantly.
Yeah.
But they're very addictive. And to be honest, though, they work really well. A lot of the global ecosystem, like mobile sites, you know, application apps, like all these things are geared towards, like we know the success of the phone, right?
Yeah.
Do I think that on the one hand, the phone is reaching kind of like a maturity peak? Probably. Yeah, I think we're probably there. Like the phones aren't really different now when they come out, like the Google Pixel, whatever, 17, iPhone 23, like, you know, these things, like they're gonna be pretty similar. There'll be incremental improvements, but nothing like disruptive. And so on the one hand, I think that those are a stable, reliable technology that most people use, and they're pretty good. They get the job done. They call people. They talk. You can talk to people. You can communicate. You can do all the things you need to do. You can basically live your life through your phone. You have a Google Wallet, like whatever. On the flip side, this AI device. So trying to replace that is going to be really difficult. So I think about Sally. So same as last year, people are also really reluctant to change things unless they're feeling a particular kind of pain. And I just don't believe that people are feeling enough pain with smartphones for them to opt out of that unless, and then this is maybe where you'd contradict me, where this new device will be so spectacularly different technologically that it will get them there. But ultimately, you're still going to want to call people.
Yeah.
You know, or like at least our generation, like I know people don't really like call people anymore, but there's still going to be like use cases for the various functions of the phone that will have to at least at a base level be replicated, I feel like, in this device. That's why I'm like, I don't think you can make it not a smartphone.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Well, I am not very smart, but Sam Altman and Johnny Ive disagree with you.
Yeah.
They think
that doesn't mean shit. But anyway, keep going.
They think that smartphones have basically become like the Times Square is their analogy. So you think of like Times Square, there's like a million signs blasting at you. People are like bumping into you. Like,
yeah,
it's like you get your thing done, you know, but you're like constantly bombarded. You're flat frazzled. Yeah. Whereas they want this to be like sitting in a calm cabin at the side of a nice lake. You know, like they want this to just be like a breath of fresh air compared to what smartphones have been. So that's their take.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know.
What does it do? So I remember, let me tell you a story. Okay, there was this game. I won't say it right now, mostly because I can't remember the name. But there was this game that was coming out. This was years ago. It was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
And it was really hyped. Okay. I actually remember its name. Should I say its name? I'll say its name. It's called No Man's Sky. Okay.
Okay.
Some people listening will be like, oh, I know that. But most people won't. Anyway,
all the gamers out there.
Yeah, totally wicked awesome. So this game, though, was interesting because it was like you can explore the universe. and it's a programmatically generated universe. You can fly around, you can like land on planets, and like you like land on them, like you fly in yourself, you're in your spaceship. It's the most open-ended game possible. They say that the generated universe is like the size of the universe, like it's unending. It's just it's fascinating.
Cool.
And everybody's like, okay, cool, that's awesome. And a lot of people were excited, but then there was about like 10-20% of people that were like, but like, what do you do? What do you do in this game?
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, oh, don't worry about that. We'll figure that out. Okay. And so your game launches and people are like, yeah, it's really big. And yeah, I can go around and do whatever I want. But what the hell am I doing? And this kind of feels like that to me. This feels like, okay, it can do something. It has a philosophical purpose.
Yeah.
It has a broad stroke kind of purpose, but it doesn't have like a specific use case that necessarily is solving. I think I read something about like maybe like real-time translation, which AirPods do. I was reading about like other like kind of weird having an assistant with you at all times. That's what a smartphone does. Yeah. Like Gemini's literally on every phone. I have the ChatGPT app on my phone. I have Claude on my phone. Like, give me a break. Okay. Yeah. So I'm not convinced that there's a space for this. And I think, look, they'll probably design something just as like a nod to Johnny Ives here. They'll, by the way, he was at Apple and like, he's an amazing designer. Like, just for folks who don't know, but like, I'm sure they'll make something really beautiful. Like I feel like it'll be really cool and it'll be really interesting and it might sell and people will some people will buy it, but I don't think it's not clear to me what purpose it solves,
right?
Or what purpose it is built for and what problem it solves.
Yeah. So I struggle.
End the episode.
Well, okay. So the thing I struggle with it is that if it's something really complicated, are you going to explain that by voice, like when you're out in public?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, are you just walking around like talking out loud? Now, I know people have phone conversations totally like on their AirPods.
Not as many though,
kind of continuously, but yeah, everybody that does. But like, you're always kind of like, really,
or like the person who's on speakerphone in public. And you're like, bro, what are you doing? Yeah, you're on the subway. It's like literally everyone is listening.
Yeah, it's just like weird vibes.
But that's another good point too. Like, I just look, what is the power of generative AI and LLMs, right? Is it's like it's your intern, your colleague in your pocket that does whatever you say. And you can ask at any time. Yep. But I do think, there's a discreteness to texting and other functions as opposed to like the way I see this kind of progressing is some sort of futuristic looking thing, kind of like the laser thing, or like almost like a play on Neuralink. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see like the what are you going to do? You're going to have another thing in your pocket? Like, I think about my pockets. Yeah. That's a dumb thing to think about, but my pockets are full. I've got a wallet. I've got a phone. I've got keys. Yeah. So now we're talking my back left pocket, which is generally empty. Yeah. So then now I got to put this thing in there. Like, what the hell does this thing do?
Yeah. Yeah. There is like an argument. Like, is this just an app? You know what I mean?
Like, it feels like,
like even my smartwatch, like it's got Gemini on it. So
can I ask you a deeper question? Let's bounce this back to you. Let's assume I think there's a high probability here that this is just a marketing play. Okay. They're just going to either string this along or they'll release something in a small, like very scarce beta way. And that will drive people to having to get like ChatGPT Plus or paying for ChatGPT or getting, because I was reading this thing that ChatGPT or OpenAI wants to have a really significant number of people start paying for the service. And I think that they wanted to get like to 200 million people who pay for the service. Right now, I think it's like 20 to 25 million or something. I might not have that right, but it's considerably less. But they want to do that by 2030. And so part of me is like, okay, so is this some sort of like loss leader, some sort of foot in the door, something that gets, you know what I mean? Like that gets a buzz. Traction, yeah. You know, I mean, like, but I mean, the reality is it's like, I have trouble with this too, because it's also obvious, like people think AI, they think OpenAI, they think ChatGPT. Right. That is the face of AI. And so you're kind of like, what? Like, I don't know. I'm struggling a lot with this. How do you get your first customer? Hint, they might be right under your nose. Find the answer to this question and dozens more in Startup Different. Find it on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle.
What do you think about the privacy concerns? Like if you didn't have one of these and you saw somebody walking around with one of these and then they opened up a conversation with you, do you have concerns that their AI pendant device thing,
it's probably recording you.
It is definitely recording you and probably training itself.
Yeah, I do. I don't like that. I don't like that. I think a lot. Imagine being on, again, let's go back to the subway. Imagine just being on the subway and like everybody's being recorded all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. Like, if you had, put it in a different scenario, again, on the subway, somebody takes up their phone, starts recording you.
Yeah.
You're not cool with that.
Yeah.
That's really, really weird.
But if they're not actually holding a phone and like pointing it at you.
But they are. They're holding something that's got a camera that's looking at you, or they're
wearing a thing.
Or a microphone that's listening to you.
Yeah. But if it's discreet, does it matter as much?
Yeah. This does.
Or does this just become normal?
Like a lot of people, like wearing a wire.
like when you're
Are you a narc? Are you narking on me?
Like when you're sitting on the subway, everybody's on their phone. Okay. And they could very well be like recording you and you wouldn't even really know.
But you would know is the difference. If you saw somebody with this, you would be like, you do know that's happening.
That it's actually like recording all the time.
There'd have to be maybe some sort of like visualization on the device that's like recording, not recording.
Yeah.
I think to be almost like an incognito mode of real. Like as soon as we have to go incognito in real life, I think we've crossed a very dangerous bridge.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, I walk up to you, hey, are you an incognito right now? I want to talk to you about something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that feels silly.
How feasible do you like? We talked about Humane's AI pin thing and like the lasers and all that sort of stuff. How the tech just couldn't keep up with it. They're talking about doing this within the next 2 years. Do you think the tech's going to be there to be able to run this thing?
Well, I think on the one hand, they have unlimited capital. So if somebody's going to figure it out, it's going to be one of those big top 10 stock companies that have unlimited money basically right now.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I think like short of like lasers and stuff, I think the tech's there. Like smartwatches are pretty mature at this point. Battery life is definitely enough where you charge it at night kind of thing. And you're good for a whole day. The screen's always on, as long as you're not shooting lasers. I think you're probably.
I think it's pretty hard to call whether or not the tech is there because we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But my gut tells me I don't know, maybe this is short-sighted or immature or something, but I think of the path to improved product development as a function of money.
Right.
The more money you can pour into it, the more amazing. You have a room of Johnny Ives to design it. You have a room.
But isn't Johnny just going to like the different battery manufacturers, stuff like that, and saying like, "What do you got?"
Presumably, Johnny Ives has better connections than just. I don't think he's making the
LG Chem. Like, what's your latest, like, smallest, best battery? And
maybe he's pushing them to innovate something new. Though maybe he has that kind of clout. Right?
Yeah.
If you're like, I'm working with Sam Altman. And we're working on this new device, and you could be like the pioneer behind this, then that probably puts those other companies in a position to try to supply something super unique.
Yeah. So OpenAI, Sam Altman, they bought Johnny Ives IO startup, back in May, and they paid $6.5 billion for it. You can't just buy.
Oh, is it billion?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, I know. So, we're now 6 months past that. And they're talking about this device that they're going to build. Like, they got to do something. They can't they can't acquire that company and then just, he's just hanging out with that. Like Johnny Ives, that's what he does. He does hardware.
They'll have something. Right? They'll have something, but I remain skeptical that that's like what the market really wants. I think they would be better suited to be building robots. Because I think the market, there's like more opportunity.
Yeah, that's not what Johnny Ive does. He's like,
I'm not talking about what Johnny Ive does. I'm talking about what market opportunities
they
is.
Bought Johnny Ive's business, so like they got to kind of do.
They will.
So
look, hang on. We're saying the same thing. They're going to release something.
Right.
I think that thing will probably flop. Is my answer to you.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's actually enough pain in the market for another device or an appetite for another device.
So, Johnny Ive's design philosophy is solutions that, quote, teeter on appearing almost naive in their simplicity. So he's got to do something that feels super basic, that has AI.
Star Trek communicator kind of thing. Like,
maybe it is. Like, I don't know.
Number one. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like,
Picard to bridge.
Picard to bridge. Wow, we're big nerds, eh?
Yeah,
I just, okay, fine. But I don't... So what? Like, I don't buy it. I really have a hard time with this. I think they're trying to force the category. It reminds me of all the people who tried iPads before iPads.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I just don't see a demand. I just don't see it there.
Yeah.
So
do you think they're going to have like apps on this thing?
They better.
Because they need a developer.
You need an ecosystem, right? Yeah. That's another way people invest in it, right?
So like, how do you do that? You're AI, and you're building AI. You're the last invention that is ever invented. Okay. And then you're like, hey, developers, come build stuff on our platform. Does that work?
I have no idea.
Right?
Probably not. But I would think that, you need some sort of an ecosystem. I think if people can start making money off of it, is when you get to a place where
do you think maybe we're always like, whenever I hear like consumer electronics and devices, stuff like that, I think of like the normal person living their day-to-day lives uses this tech. What if we're just missing the mark on it? What if it's like in a B2B type of environment? What if it's in like, I don't know, Amazon fulfillment warehouses where it's like telling the person that packs the box. Like remember, even with us with Google Glass, all the use cases they were showing in their stuff was like, just like, hey, what's the weather? And hey, what's my schedule for today? And all that sort of stuff. And we took it and we said, hey,
is there a business application?
Here's a business application, like security team wearing these things. Hey, there was just an incident at this building.
Here's the wayfinding quickest path.
Here's the wayfinding quickest path. Like, and we were like tying in like real stuff to it. So I wonder too if they put the solution sort of like out there, but the industry figures out, or the market figures out where it actually works, rather than it just being kind of like this, hey, everybody can ask it what the weather is going to be.
Yeah.
Something like that. Right.
That's interesting. But see, I think that comes back to what I was saying to you earlier, which is, what is the purpose of the device? What problem does it solve? And it's unclear to me that they have actually articulated that it solves a problem.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a good sign of something that will fail.
Okay.
That's Dave's red flag.
All right.
Okay.
So let's just assume that this thing is some sort of a thing you wear. It's got a microphone and a speaker on it. It's tied into AI. What would it have to do, and what would it have to cost for you to buy it?
It's not, okay. So I'm like a tech guy. Like, I like new stuff. I'm interested in it. I knew about those other things. Yeah. There's another one too. There's the pin, and there was the rabbit. Anyway, R1 rabbit. You never heard of it? It's okay. It's kind of the same flop boat.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like, I think this is kind of one of those things where it's a solution looking for a problem. Yeah. And I can't really think of a problem that I'm having. Like, I don't feel like I need another device.
Okay.
Like, I don't. What would it have to do? Something. I think it would be cool if you could, again, let's just put the privacy concerns away for a second. I think it'd be cool if you almost had it like on your lapel, or as like an earpiece or something. Yeah. And somebody's talking to you and it's feeding you information about whatever they're talking about.
That's interesting.
I think that would be cool.
Actually, I think it would be a lot better if it was sort of in your ear, so that everybody's not hearing what it's saying.
Yeah, no, like exactly. Like you almost want like an earpiece, like kind of like Secret Service sort of vibe. Yeah. But just like you're listening, it's hearing and listening, and it's like, oh, Chris is talking about this device. Here's some information that can help you in this conversation. Like maybe that's good. Yeah. But then it's also like, I don't know, it kind of feels like cheating at social behavior and all these other problems. So I don't know. I don't. And also, I'm not sure that's not a big enough need for me. Yeah. I'd rather just be like, I don't know anything about that. Yeah. Tell me about it. I'm interested.
Well, I'll tell you.
I like the idea of the device is like, they're full of horseshit right now.
Well, I'll tell you, if this was like Google coming out with this and like trying to get me as a developer to like, I'm not buying it. I'm gonna.
I mean, you're burnt.
I'm so burnt out.
Once bitten, twice shy. Like you're done.
I'll let somebody else go first on this one. Yeah, for sure. Cool.
Anyway, I think it's interesting. I think it would be cool to see whatever it is when it comes out. I'm very deeply skeptical that it'll be successful. And that's where I'm at right now.
So cool. Phones here to stay.
Phones are annoying, but they work.
Yeah.
Like that's the reality. There's just not enough pain there.
Yeah. I think it should just be an app. It is an app. Actually, it is an app.
It is.
It already is.
Yeah.
Like, what do we
like? I don't understand why it has to be a device. Yeah. It just feels like a marketing play too.
All right, whatever. So Dave and I are shorting
super shorting
device.
We like note this is not official investment advice.
Come back in 2 years to find out how terribly wrong we were. Now that everybody's wearing pendants that tell them everything. I don't know.
Maybe people can wear it and they can just podcast all the time. Yeah. It's like Ed TV, but like podcasting as they're walking around. It's just projecting their head.
That is what the world needs.
More podcasts. And on that note, folks, we'll see you next week.
Hey. Start it up. Let's get it rolling. Big ideas, money folding. Hustle smart, dream so wild. Turn that grind into a joyride.